Xbox just teased a huge announcement. Fans are disgusted with this unexpected Xbox feature. And what is Bethesda doing? Let's discuss. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Xbox Ready, the YouTube channel that is all about Xbox. We talk all the stuff going on in the Xbox world on this channel. I just want to make sure you guys are Xbox ready. I hope all of my American viewers out there had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you had good luck with your Black Friday shopping and your Cyber Monday shopping. Had a good Thanksgiving too, had some good family time. I saw the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving down in Dallas. But now it is time to get back into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to talk Xbox once again. Now, if you are not aware, the Game Awards is next week. It's Thursday, December 7th. And there's been a lot of back and forth like there is every year about, oh, this game should not have been nominated. Oh, this game should have been nominated, blah, blah, blah. Xbox tax this, blah, blah, blah. I never really involved myself in that because I'm just like, whatever, this is just a fun time to look back on all the games this year that came out. And there's a lot of really great ones. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be at the Game Awards next week. I can't wait to tell you all about it, post about it. But if you're an Xbox fan out there and you're feeling slighted that your favorite Xbox game wasn't nominated for a certain category, you still have something to look forward to next week. Xbox is apparently teasing can't miss news that will be revealed at the Game Awards next week in an email that they're sending out across the world. It's like this little graphic banner thing that says, turn on for the best in gaming, celebrate the best games of the year, and the big winners live at the Game Awards on December 7th, blah, 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 along with important announcements and other Xbox news that you don't want to miss. Now, what can this news possibly be? I feel like the easy, most obvious answer is a release date for Baldur's Gate 3. This is something that Larian Studios has sort of teased on their Twitter account. I think it was last week or maybe 2 weeks ago when they shared all their nominations for Baldur's Gate 3. They were like, fans of physical games and fans of Xbox will have some good news for you when the Game Awards rolls around. It would be pretty cool if Baldur's Gate 3 cleans up at the Game Awards in their categories to be like, oh yeah, this awesome game that just won all of these awards, now you can play it on Xbox after the show. Go buy it. Last year at the show, they had a Game Pass trailer that showed off a lot of titles that eventually came to Game Pass in 2023. They could do something similar, like here's all the stuff coming to Game Pass, here's a firm release date for Stalker 2 that's going to be added day 1 to Game Pass, maybe some other release dates for upcoming first-party Xbox games like Avowed, like Fable, things like that. You know, it'd be really cool is if they acknowledged the existence of this digital Series X. They'd be like, yeah, guys, PlayStation, they just released the Slim. Check out our new console. It's this freaking cylindrical thing. It's not even a box anymore. It's the digital Series X. Probably not as likely as the other stuff I was just talking about, but it would be really cool, and it would be awesome for Xbox to put a positive spin on an otherwise disappointing or negative experience at the Game Awards. Now, last week, me and Jimmy teamed up to talk a lot about how Xbox, now that they own Activision Blizzard, their combined gaming revenue now beats Sony. Interestingly enough, a lot of articles were coming out being like, Xbox beats PlayStation, finally. Sony in third place. It's never happened before. But amidst all that fanfare, there was some concerning news for Xbox as a business. Apparently, over in Europe, their console sales just fell off a cliff. According to Christopher Dring on Twitter, he says that not every European country is tracked, but for those that are tracked, console sales for Xbox fell as high as 50% year over year, down 20% month to month. That is, I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a business guy, but those don't seem like amazing numbers to me. Now, what a lot of people are going to probably say is, well, it doesn't really matter. Is Xbox super concerned about the sales of their consoles as they are with, growing Game Pass, putting their games on PC, kind of being more of a publisher? I feel like Xbox should be sort of concerned about this, not like ring the alarms, oh my gosh, Xbox is dying, because while their focus has shifted a little bit away from selling hardware, I feel as if, the number one way to grow their services and to get people to play Xbox games is by selling them an Xbox console. And so if their sales are dropping off in an area where they could be killing it, well, that's kind of concerning. I don't know if I should be impressed with Xbox because, you can look at it a couple of different ways, right? Like before the Activision deal, they had $6 billion in revenue. Yes, they were behind Sony, but they also have half the amount of Xboxes out there compared to PlayStations? Or should I be impressed with Sony being like, well, they don't have like a lot of big publishers, they don't have the money to go buy Bethesda or Activision, yet they're beating Xbox? I don't know. There's a lot of ways to look at this. Overall, I think Xbox was like, look, we're never gonna beat PlayStation in a straight up 1-to-1 console race. We got outsold 2-to-1 last generation. It's kind of the same numbers with this generation as well. One reason that Xbox may not be selling so well in Europe is, well, apparently, according to this Reddit post, 55% of European countries are not supported by Xbox. Now, what does that mean? Well, that could mean that their consoles are not sold in the region. That could also mean that certain games and services are not available, like cloud gaming, like certain digital titles. And apparently, sometimes even Game Pass functionality can be kind of funky in unsupported regions as well. This Reddit user puts it perfectly, saying that if you buy a Series S, it could be one of the biggest mistakes that you could do. A system that would sell like crazy in a lot of these countries because of its price. Now, this is kind of questionable looking at it with this table, which is pulled directly from the Xbox website, because it's like, wow, 55% of Europe not supported by Xbox, where, you know, they could make a pretty major push. Xbox's goal, they've said this generation, is to reach as many gamers as possible, up to 3 billion. And it's like, how are you gonna do that if you're not supporting your product and your services in just entire countries and entire regions? Someone at Xbox marketing must have been like, listen, we've done the math. It is just not worth the money to pour in marketing and resources and, you know, localization and things like that into these regions because we're just not making money there. But then it's kind of feeds this cycle of, well, you're not supporting it, that's why it's not doing well. Now, I can't speak to what the Xbox experience is like in Europe, but according to this Reddit thread that I'm scrolling through, it can be pretty complicated to navigate without switching your region to a supported one. Another part of this Reddit post I think is interesting is this segment right here. Big Mini claims that this also means seeing any Xbox ads is impossible. Xbox being a part of some local event? Not a chance. Xbox being partner or sponsor of something? Nope. Even gaming outlets can't get into contact with them. Getting early review copies is wishful thinking. That is not so good if you want to expand your brand across the world. Here in the US, a lot of people are familiar with Xbox. They know the Xbox brand, but Xbox's goal, if they want to expand into the international community, which is something that they have expressed, they gotta do better. They gotta put in a little bit more work. So guys, you like books? I got something for you. I like books, and this year I made a promise to myself. I was like, I'm gonna read more books. Here's what I realized. I realized that I am a slave to screens. You know, I'm a content creator. Inherently, what I do requires me to be on my computer, on my phone, and I'm a gaming content creator. So that's another thing on top of that. I'm constantly playing games. I'm constantly on a screen. But even outside of that, I found that I was just like on Instagram, on social media all the time, and it was messing with my brain, straight up. Freaking, it's messing with my ability to connect with people. I had like this whole crisis, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read books. I'm gonna get into stuff that gets me off of my screen. And one of the things I tried out was Audible. Audible is, if you're not aware, an audiobook service where you can listen to people read your favorite books or new books to you. So I'm kind of mixing it up. I read books when I'm at home or when I'm out and about, but when I'm moving, like in a car, in a train, wherever, I get car sick if I'm reading or on my phone in a moving vehicle. So I like to have an audiobook in that situation. So if you want to get more books into your life, more books into your brain, you can actually go on over to audibletrial.com/XboxReady and get 30 days of free Audible Premium Plus. I have the link for that down in the description, and I also have this QR code. Speaking of putting in work, Certain Affinity, who is the support studio for a lot of the Halo games, is working on 3 new projects, including a new Halo game. According to twistedvoxel.com, the CEO of Certain Affinity recently appeared in an interview and confirmed that the studio is working on 3 projects, one of which is a continued partnership with 343, the people behind Halo Infinite, the people who took over for Bungie, you know, which could mean that they're working on the next rumored Halo title. He also shared that Certain Affinity's second project is very very big, it's very exciting, and that it's something brand new, so not Halo or not tied to any IP that you know. This is an interesting thing too, because apparently they're gonna announce it sometime in December, so that could be one of the games that is announced or revealed at the Game Awards. Very excited to see what they do. I'm very high on Halo again. Ever since Season 5 launch, I've been having a blast with it, teamed up with my old friends through Halo, and you know how I know Halo is a good, fun game? Because I viscerally get into it. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm pounding my fist on the keyboard, or I'm celebrating. I just haven't had that feeling in a while, you know? Now, this collaboration that they're doing with 343, it could be a new Halo game, but it could also be a new campaign for Halo Infinite. No matter what they're working on, we know that this new Halo thing is going to be in a new engine. It's going to be an Unreal Engine 5. I don't know if any of these projects allude to the Tatanka Battle Royale mode that apparently Certain Affinity's been working on for a while, or if it's a separate thing. Either way, I'm looking forward to see what they're working on. Hopefully we get an announcement at the Game Awards, if not soon after that. Next up, let's talk about everyone's favorite thing, ads. I know we love ads. I have a complicated relationship with ads. On one end, yes, like the South Park episode implies, they are annoying and they're everywhere. On the other hand, as a content creator, they empower me to do this full time and make content for you guys. But the one thing I have always said on the channel, especially when they were trying to redesign the Xbox dashboard, is that I want to see less ads on my video game console, on my home Xbox. And so far, they have not been doing a good job of that. It seems like there are more ads than ever on my Xbox console. People were like, man, this is kind of messed up that when I boot up my Xbox console, I get a huge unskippable banner ad for Modern Warfare 3, or for Forza Motorsport, or for Starfield. And now if you're playing Ubisoft games, apparently last week people were reporting that when they were trying to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey and they opened up the menu, they got a full page ad for frickin' Assassin's Creed Mirage. Ubisoft walked it back a little bit. They were like, no, it's just a technical error. It wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah, right. Yeah, no way. All I'm asking for these people, I don't know if anyone's listening to me who actually runs these kind of things or implements them, but guys, come on, you gotta give us a break, man. We need less ads on our gaming consoles, whether it's Xbox, whether it's PlayStation, less ads. If I open up the store, hit me with all the ads you want, because that's what I'm there for. But if I'm trying to play a game, if I'm trying to boot up my Xbox, I don't wanna see that. Especially because it's like, guys, I bought 2 Xbox consoles this generation, the Series X, the Series S. I have Game Pass Ultimate. I have so many digital Xbox games. It's like, you're not I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy you want to be marketing towards, man. You already got me. Now, for anyone who has been keeping up with Rare Studios, you know that they're working on a game called Everwild. This game was teased 4 years ago now, back in 2019. Well, if you're curious about what's going on with Everwild, if you want to know more about the game, you might have to wait a bit longer, because it turns out they're still hiring for the game. On a couple of social media posts that Rare has put out, it seems that they're looking for an engine programmer that would work on Sea of Thieves and on Everwild. And I just gotta know, man, like, what is this game? Like, where is it at in its development? When are we gonna learn more about it? When are we gonna see it? Now, I'm not, I guess, hurting for more Everwild news, because one, I don't know too much about it, and there's a lot of other stuff that Xbox is putting out that I'm excited for. But I just don't want this to turn into another game that was hyped up and then just dies in development, or is just in limbo, because I'm excited to see what Rare does next. That's pretty much it for the news segment. Now I'm transitioning into a segment I like to call Ray's Rant. I've kind of been ranting in the news segment as well, but this is just pure ranting. And I can't believe what I'm seeing, guys. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. So apparently, Starfield is replying to negative reviews on Steam, and it's just unbelievable what I'm seeing, because they're responding to people who are like, the game is boring, the planets are empty, the procedurally generated stuff is not fun, and the Bethesda account is responding to them and saying things like, well, you know, just because astronauts went to the moon and there was nothing on it doesn't mean it wasn't fun, so I encourage you to look at it from that perspective. Or, hey, have you tried making a new character and like making different choices and playing the game different? Maybe building outposts to put something on the planet that is not there? And it's like, Just stop doing that. I don't know who approved that kind of response over at Bethesda or their PR, their marketing, whatever, but they gotta stop. They just gotta stop it. Take it from me. A guy who, spends a lot of time getting very nice messages from you guys, whether it's on the Xbox, whether it's a comment, whether it's on Instagram, being like, hey man, I love the content. But also guys who are like, man, this guy sucks. I hate his content. I hate his face. I hate his voice. Once it gets to that point where someone is like, your content sucks, your performance sucks, your game is boring, there is nothing that you can say that will make them change their minds, that'll make them go, huh, I never thought about it like that. Maybe the planet isn't boring. Maybe I just gotta change my perspective. You are fighting a losing battle. Bethesda is fighting a losing battle here. Just be like, okay, you didn't like the game. I'm sorry. There's not much else we can do. I just don't understand why they feel the need to go. It's like they're going into comments and defending their game when they don't need to. It's like they've already made a bunch of money off of it. It's just, let it go, guys. Just stop. And now it's just becoming a meme. It's giving people ammunition against this game that wasn't there before. So that's my rant for the day. Bethesda, just stop replying to comments. Stop trying to defend your game to people saying it's boring or critiquing it. Just stop. It's not helping you. It's not helping the fans. It's making you look kind of silly. This is the same company that a couple of years ago was like, just upgrade your PC. What's the big deal? Now it's like, well, just build an outpost. They're not doing themselves any favors with the fans or in the community. Just stop. Anyways, guys, that's all the stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Xbox Ready, and we'll see you in the next one.